Here is a pattern that I used with my students several years ago. Still on the market, I'm sure. It's a good name. Butter make good patterns. But they've got mistakes in them, and let me tell you, they got plenty of mistakes in them. All right, here's the instructions. You know what I do with instructions when I use a home sewing pattern? I put it back in the envelope. Don't bother reading. Forget it. Hi everyone, I'm Laurel Hoffman, and I'm sharing with you in my books and videos the information I learned when I was trained in the industry. There I learned how to draft, fit, and grade patterns for the factories. When the industry was going offshore, I decided to write it down. And this is how you do it. Here I go again, complaining about home sewing patterns, but believe me, there's plenty to complain about. And what I'm going to complain about right now is the collar patterns. Here it is. That's the collar pattern that came with this pattern. That's it. That's a collar pattern. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're having trouble with your collars, it's not you. It is them. All right? And I'm going to show you what to do about this. See the collar here? This collar would never have turned out like this if I had followed their instructions. It would have been a disaster. All right. First of all, what they tell you here is to cut it on the fold. Here it says, cut 2 on fold. 2 what? I'll tell you what 2 is. 1 top collar, 1 bottom collar, and you cut the top collar on the fold and the bottom collar on the fold. You want a disaster? That's it. You want a blouse that looks like you made it? You want a garment to wear and somebody says to you, oh, what a nice blouse. Did you make it? That's not a compliment. That's an insult. You want somebody to say to you, where do you buy your clothes? You have such pretty clothes. And that's what I'm showing you how to make. You can use this pattern and you can make it work, but you've got to do some work to make it work. And I'm going to show you what you need to do right now. Here's some tracing paper. I buy it in rolls, but when I have scraps left over, I don't throw it out because tracing paper is expensive. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this collar on the fold in paper. There we go. And now I'm going to lay it like this so the center of my fold is right on the fold. Now it's not easy to see it all the way through, so you're going to have to take my word that I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, now this is going to be sewn around the neck, and around the neck you want a 1/4 inch seam allowance. As a matter of fact, you want a 1/4 inch seam allowance on the entire pattern. Now, in the industry, when I drafted, I used 5H pencils. But when you're drafting just for yourself, you can use a 2 pencil. It's all right. Make sure you have sharp points, though, because you don't want to have anything sloppy. I'm using the size 12 pattern, so it's size 8, 10, 12. So I'm marking from the cutting edge of the 12 back 3/8 of an inch. I took off 3/8, so I'm going to mark 3/8 there. And that way I can see that line, that I've got the same line right over top of the line I just drew. And I'm going to mark off 3/8 here, here. All right, and 3/8 here. It's a little bit there. Needs to take a little bit off. And you can see how you can erase a line up by just laying your ruler against it. All right. So that gives me the 1/4 inch seam allowance on it. Now I'm looking for notches, and I'm seeing them here. Here's a notch here. You just want 1/8 of an inch in. You don't cut these big V's in here. Just a little snip is all they need. And this one here, here's another notch here, and just a little notch there. All right. And then, all right, you've got to have both a straight and a cross grain line on every single pattern. This doesn't have anything on it. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm showing you a book that I wrote. This is Sewing Techniques from the Fashion Industry. It's available on Barnes & Noble. All the procedures in here are procedures used in the industry to produce high-end garments. Here you see button sizes, so you know what size to make your buttonholes. How to do hems, color analysis. It shows you how to put a gauge on your sewing machine. Everything in the industry is sewn on gauge. That's how we manage to control the fit. And it shows you how to make pockets, how to sew it so you don't see the stitching. At the end of each chapter are the mock-up patterns that you need so that you can make a mock-up and learn how to do the procedure before you're doing it in your garment. The book includes how to put in a successful kick pleat. See how it is? And it goes all the way up to the top. In the back, it shows you how to make a pull-through miniature dress. This is very valuable information. And notice, do you see? No hand stitching. The hem hangs on the lining. See, this is all cut to match through the sides. It's all matching up through the shoulders. You learn how to cut to match as you make this little dress. And this procedure you will use if you're making your daughter a prom gown, if you're making yourself a pullover top, and this is something that is only done in high-end, so you'll be learning high-end skills. This is the book you need. See you soon. Bye for now. So here's how you get a straight grain line on it. Put a little dot here. And turn it over, and there's the little dot. And then you take your ruler and you got a straight grain line. You want to write on it that this is a straight grain. Okay. Now, we've only got half of it. We're going to trace this side. Put the notches, and you want to trace them in too, of course. There. Now we have the top collar. All right. There's a straight grain. And the fold, where it was folded, is the cross grain. And we put a little V-notch here and a little V-notch here. Now it's possible to cut the top collar out correctly. And I'm going to write on it, top collar. And you're going to cut one self, that's the principal fabric that you see on the outside of the garment, and cut one stiffening. All right, that's the top collar. And I'm going to put B6085, and this is a size 12 that I copied. You want all this information on it. And when I did it, this was February 2026. And I'm going to trim off some of this mess here so it's a little neater. Now, if I were to cut both the top collar and the bottom collar from this pattern, I would have a mess. Like the collar I have, I did it with this one. This is how you do professional collars. Okay. By the way, you have marked this seam allowance. We're going to need to mark this on here. This is 1/4 here, 1/4 here, 1/4 here, and 1/4 here. That's very important that you have that on there so that you know. All right, because when you go to sew, you may forget. You want to mark all your seam allowances on all your trace patterns. Okay. Now the next thing we need is we need a bottom collar. Okay, you see why I'm annoyed? You got half of a top collar and no bottom collar at all. How are you supposed to make anything look decent? I mean, you're done before you start. Like I said, it's not your fault. So here goes the bottom collar. Now I have made the bottom collar. What I did was I traced off the top collar, but I reduced it 1/16 of an inch here at the point. It's reduced 1/8 here. Here at the neckline, it stays exactly the same. And the reason it does is because you want the collar to sew into the neck without any problems. The bottom is exactly the same, but the top is just a little bit less. It's 1/8 of an inch smaller than the top collar. And what you will have is a professional collar when you're through sewing. You want to put the stiffening on the top collar, and to be sure you can tell the top collar from the bottom collar, both the pattern and the fabric you cut has 2 notches, one on either side of the center back fold. See this? And this tells you, when you look at your fabric and when you look at your pattern, that that is the bottom collar. That's very important. All right, so now I have the bottom collar, and because this is chiffon, I'm lining it. So think of this as 1 ply, although it's 2. That's the bottom collar. Here's the top collar. It has the chiffon and the lining, and it also has the stiffening. Now, this is not the way you usually sew a collar together, but this is high-end, and I'm showing you some of these techniques so you know that what I'm showing you is not just what's done out on the factory floor. What I'm showing you isn't done out on the factory floor. This is what's done in high-end designing departments. Now, in order for this to sew into your blouse correctly, you need to also, when you trace off the front and back patterns, make sure you reduce the seam allowance at the neck 3/8 of an inch, because you're going to be sewing it on 1/4 of an inch. Seams that sew to seams have the same seam allowance. So this would be 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to trace the whole thing. I'm just going to put a little paper over this and show you. When you trace the neck, you want to trace, of course, now we're working with a size 12. So I'm drawing these lines in right away so I know where they are. And I'm going to put a little cross through here so we know that that's size 12. And I'm going to measure down 3/4 of an inch from the top line all the way around so that we know that it's going to be cut on a 1/4 of an inch. You go all the way around like that, and of course you write 1/4 inch seam allowance so you know for sure. And here is the notch, and we make sure we have the notch in there too, because that's how the collar is going to sew to it. And the shoulder, of course, is 5/8, and we want to make that 1/2 an inch seam allowance, so we're going to put 1/2 there. And we don't need these notches here because that just tells you where it sews. Okay, that's telling you that's 5/8 from this line, but it's actually 1/2 from this line, and you don't need a notch there. You just know from looking at your pattern that's going to be a 1/2 an inch seam allowance. So that's how it's done. Now, I'm not going to trace this whole thing off. I think you got the idea, but you most certainly do not want to use these 5/8 inch seam allowances because you're cutting your garment out twice. First, you cut it out in the fabric, and then you have to cut all the seam allowances back. This is ridiculous. All right, now another problem here is the true bust point. Is this in the correct place? Anybody's good guess. Don't take the chance. Make a muslin before you make the garment. Once you have your pattern corrected and you know that it fits and you've made one blouse from it, you can make lots of blouses from that pattern because now you know you can bend on it. I don't make a pattern every time I make a blouse. I use patterns I already have. All right, and here is the back pattern. And again, it says cut one on the fold. Don't do it, because if you cut it on the fold, you may inadvertently get a V, so that it's too wide here at the neck or too wide at the bottom. You throw the whole grain off. You want to have your garments cut on perfect grain because they wear out in the closet if they're cut on wrong grain. If they're not cut on correct grain, they hang cockeyed in your closet even though you have them square on the hanger. And your clothes wear out and they don't look right. They wear out fast. You want them to last. Let's face it, you've done all this work. So anyway, that's a story about collars. So now you know all about that, and I hope you come and watch some more of my videos because I got plenty more to tell you.